everyone, and welcome to Just Discovered, the podcast where we explore the world around us, one fascinating topic at a time. I'm your host, Mae, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today.
Hi, Mae, and hi to all our listeners. I'm Chris, and I'm ready to discover something new.
Great to have you, Chris. Before we dive in, a quick reminder to our wonderful listeners. Please subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Every like and subscription helps us bring you more exciting content.
Absolutely, and today's topic is definitely something important.
It is indeed, Chris. We also want to give a special shout out and thanks to the Straits Times for providing the news report that is the foundation for our conversation today. Their reporting allows us to bring you timely and accurate information.
So, what are we discovering today, Mae?
Today, Chris, we're talking about a recent earthquake that struck Mindanao in the Philippines.
Wow, that sounds serious. I hope everyone's okay.
Me too, Chris. According to the report from the Straits Times, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake hit Mindanao on the morning of October 17th.
A 6.1 magnitude? That's pretty strong, right?
Yes, it is. To give some context, the magnitude scale is logarithmic, meaning each whole number increase represents a 10-fold increase in measured amplitude on a seismograph. A 6.1 magnitude earthquake can cause considerable damage, especially in areas with vulnerable infrastructure.
So, what exactly is an earthquake? I mean, I know the ground shakes, but what causes it?
That's a great question, Chris. Earthquakes are primarily caused by the movement of tectonic plates. The Earth's lithosphere, the crust and the uppermost part of the mantle, is divided into several major and minor plates that are constantly moving, albeit very slowly.
Like puzzle pieces floating around?
That's a really good analogy. They're not floating exactly, but they are interacting. These plates interact at their boundaries, which are called faults. There are three main types of plate boundaries: convergent, divergent, and transform.
Okay, so tell me about those boundaries. What happens at each one?
Certainly. At convergent boundaries, plates collide. One plate can slide under another in a process called subduction. This process is often associated with large earthquakes and volcanic activity. The immense pressure and friction generate earthquakes.
Subduction. So one plate goes under the other, like a slide.
Exactly. Think of it like that. At divergent boundaries, plates move apart. Magma rises from the mantle to fill the gap, creating new crust. This process is typically associated with volcanic activity and relatively smaller earthquakes compared to convergent boundaries. An example of this would be the Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
So, new land is made there? That's amazing.
It is. Finally, at transform boundaries, plates slide past each other horizontally. The San Andreas Fault in California is a classic example of a transform boundary. These boundaries are characterized by frequent earthquakes as the plates grind against each other.
Okay, I think I get it. So, the Philippines, what kind of boundary is that near?
The Philippines is located in a very seismically active region known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. This is where many of the world's earthquakes and volcanoes occur. The Philippine Mobile Belt is a complex tectonic area characterized by the convergence of several major tectonic plates, including the Philippine Sea Plate, the Eurasian Plate, and the Indo-Australian Plate. This convergence results in frequent earthquakes and volcanic activity.
Wow, so it's like the perfect storm for earthquakes.
Precisely. The movement and interaction of these plates generate a lot of stress along fault lines in the region, leading to the earthquakes that Mindanao and other parts of the Philippines experience.
So, what does the 6.1 magnitude tell us about this specific earthquake?
The magnitude of an earthquake is a measure of the energy released at the source of the earthquake. It's determined from the logarithm of the amplitude of waves recorded on seismographs. A 6.1 magnitude earthquake is considered moderate. While it may not cause widespread devastation like larger earthquakes, it can still cause significant damage, particularly to buildings and infrastructure that are not earthquake resistant. It could also trigger landslides in mountainous regions.
What kind of damage are we talking about?
Well, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake could cause things like cracks in walls, fallen plaster, broken windows, and even structural damage to buildings that are not built to withstand seismic activity. In more vulnerable areas, we might see buildings collapse. The severity of the damage depends on factors like the depth of the earthquake, the type of soil, the construction standards of buildings, and the distance from the epicenter.
The epicenter, that's the point where the earthquake is the strongest, right?
Exactly. The epicenter is the point on the Earth's surface directly above the focus or hypocenter of the earthquake, which is the point where the rupture begins. The energy released during an earthquake radiates outward from the focus in the form of seismic waves.
So, closer to the epicenter, the shaking is more intense.
Correct. The intensity of the shaking decreases with distance from the epicenter. That's why it's important to know how far you are from the epicenter when assessing the potential impact of an earthquake.
So, what are the first things people should do if an earthquake happens?
The most important thing to do during an earthquake is to protect yourself from falling debris. The general recommendation is to drop, cover, and hold on.
Drop, cover, and hold on. I've heard that before.
Yes, it's a widely promoted safety measure. Drop to the ground. This prevents you from being knocked over. Then, cover your head and neck with your arms and seek shelter under a sturdy table or desk. If there isn't a table or desk nearby, crouch near an interior wall. Finally, hold on to the table or desk and be prepared to move with it if it shifts.
What if you're outside?
If you are outside, move away from buildings, power lines, and anything else that could fall on you. Find a clear spot and drop to the ground until the shaking stops.
What about after the earthquake? What should people do then?
After the earthquake, it's important to check yourself for injuries and then check on others around you. If you are in a damaged building, evacuate as soon as it is safe to do so. Be aware of potential hazards such as falling debris, damaged power lines, and gas leaks. Listen to local authorities for instructions and updates.
Should people be worried about tsunamis after an earthquake like this?
That's a very important question. Earthquakes that occur under the ocean can generate tsunamis. The potential for a tsunami depends on several factors, including the magnitude and depth of the earthquake, the location of the earthquake relative to the coastline, and the characteristics of the seafloor. Authorities usually issue tsunami warnings if there is a risk of a tsunami. It is crucial to heed these warnings and evacuate to higher ground if you are in a coastal area.
So, are there any ways to predict earthquakes?
Earthquake prediction is a very challenging and complex scientific problem. Despite decades of research, scientists have not yet found a reliable way to predict exactly when and where an earthquake will occur. However, they can assess the seismic hazard of a region based on historical earthquake data, fault locations, and other geological factors. This information is used to develop building codes and emergency preparedness plans to mitigate the impact of future earthquakes.
That's good to know. So, even though we can't predict them, we can at least prepare.
Exactly. Preparation and awareness are key to reducing the risk of earthquakes. Things like earthquake-resistant building designs, early warning systems, and public education programs can all help to save lives and minimize damage.
It makes you think about how powerful nature is.
It truly does, Chris. Earthquakes serve as a reminder of the immense forces at work beneath our feet. They also highlight the importance of understanding these forces and taking steps to protect ourselves from their potential impacts.
Well, Mae, this has been really informative. I've learned so much about earthquakes.
I'm glad to hear that, Chris. It's important to stay informed about these kinds of events and how to stay safe. Remember, being prepared can make all the difference.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing all this with us, Mae.
My pleasure, Chris. And thank you all for tuning in to Just Discovered. We hope you found this episode helpful and informative.
And remember to subscribe and like the